Yo, what the fuck is going on? Today is Friday, November fucking 15th. We're going to be going over penny stocks, pre-market and open market. We're going to start with AREN. This one was a day one mover, had solid volume coming into open here. We had a nice kind of long-term flag coming into open. One of the patterns that we saw out of the gates, starting with open market, is dips to the intraday 200, which for me is this kind of line here. This thing coming in, it kind of opened below this, so it kind of had that one off the table as far as what it can do. Another thing to note too is this thing did come from 50 cents and is now at $2. We haven't had a stock like this in a while. Sometimes I fucking forget, but anything coming from the penny land into the dollar, $2 range is going to fucking halt left and right all day, any day. And it's gonna move 2 cents and fucking halt. So to me, the second this thing halts, which was, let's see, 9:31, pretty much I was done looking at this. The only way I would ever trade something like this would be if it started to halt down, and then it consolidated maybe, over pre-market high or over this 261 pivot point. Other than that, I mean, looking at this, at least for open market sakes, I think pre-market was super nice. There were some decent trades here for pre-market, but open market was dog shit. And then we also have, even with the halts, it's kind of, I would say VWAP drowning here, where it's struggling, now it's under VWAP, and now it's fading. This was similar to 14 something. I think it was the ELAB. Let's look at ELAB real quick. Let's pull this bitch the fuck up. Alright, here are the vibes. Here are the similar vibes. Sideways, up, down, kind of in a wedge, and then failed the wedge. AREN, not really in a wedge, but similar vibes, and then just didn't do anything the rest of the day. Moving on, ASST. Let's see, this one, was this thing a multi-day runner? I don't remember. I don't have this on my list. This thing faded and open. Anything that looks like this, the old volcano, this whole ski slope pre-market, tend to stay away from. These usually don't produce anything, just like this. BENF. Another one straight up, almost straight down. Look at this volcano, bro. The pre-market volcanoes are coming out. Look at that. Bam! This thing, however, did do a nice push at open. This was a nice little 1 minute flag right here into VWAP, and then the VWAP was a mini volcano as well. Bam, bam, bam. And then, yeah, nothing else from there. So nice VWAP reject off of this. Supports the fact that, again, anything pushing into open and then just falling right back down, volcano style, tends to fucking not work. Moving to BTCS, I've been tracking this whole week. With BTCT having kind of like a black swan move, I always want to keep this stuff up just in case it starts getting more volume again or whatnot. I guess it's like day 3 or day 4. Nothing here for BTCS. BTCT, nothing there. It is still sitting at 17, which is impressive. Still very impressive. It wouldn't doubt me if this thing exploded more or if it just came all the way back down to fucking zero. Alright, speaking of zero, we have Zero. This thing ran, let's see. So it ran on 11/11 Make-A-Wish Day. 11/12 ran in pre-market, faded, and did nothing. Okay, and then a couple days of consolidation. 11/15 runs up. It puts in a couple candles straight up over this 33 pivot. So 33 was the previous high of this run overall. Pre-market, we can look at the 190 EMA wave. That was nice. Reminds me of BTCT and BTCS where they run right before open and then just die off. This basically did exactly that, outside of just putting in a couple candles in the upward position here. This was a nice dip right here. I think the best trade for this, if you weren't already in pre-market, was this dip back down to 33 cents, and then you have a nice pop here, 43 cents. That's a pretty nice move there. I did try it here. We talked about fake kill candles. To me, this could potentially be one, and Cero could potentially move. But you have the fact that day 2 moves don't tend to work, even though this isn't a day 2. But recycled names tend to just not have enough volume, not work. But this thing did have a lot of volume, so I thought there could be a chance this breaks 44. Over 44, over 45, if we look at the daily real quick, is, I mean, there's just like nothing. We got pretty much room to 68. There's really no other resistance points here, so there was kind of blue skies look to it, so I took some, but it didn't end up really working out. We did start to rotate and then just faded off. This is kind of a mini inverse head and shoulders here, but just kind of VWAP drowning again. I did think about taking it here, but looking over this week's price action, anything that kind of, the VWAP drowning, it's multi-day, just seemed like it wasn't worth it. And I was correct on that analysis. This thing fucking faded off into zero. Moving on to E-Fish. There's no volume here, not looking at it. E-Lab was a day 2 move. Nothing there, not looking at it. SO, I think larger float. Push to a key level and then fade out. Not really going to look at that either. GREE, I thought, had an opportunity as well. I thought GREE for the open market could open at the intraday 200, then push up to at least like 420, blaze it. But she did not. She had some key levels at 5. Yeah, this thing just died. Just straight up died. I don't know if it halted. No. But pretty much, you know, from here I can say this thing's done. The only thing I could see this thing doing is maybe putting in like a bounce off of the daily 200 back to, you know, I don't know, 340s. But even that didn't happen. This thing got fucking smoked. Shoo. Anyways, yeah, you see something like this happen, I tend to just stay away. If it does for some reason push all the way back up, then I can start looking at it, but this is pretty much garbage right there. GXAI is a multi-day runner. I do have a bunch of multi-day runners on the list, but I still wanted to bring them up just in case they did do something. IBG, no real volume here, was also a multi-day runner. It came under its kind of like 30-day highs here at 126 and just no volume, so I stayed away from that as well. ISBC, no volume. Kixin was another multi-day, not looking at it. M10 ran yesterday, straight up, straight down, and even more fucking down. MBST, another multi-day, nothing here for me at least. QUBT, sorry, there's fucking 4,000 multi-days. I don't know why I have this many, but this just goes to prove to myself that recycled names outside of Foxo, basically they don't work in this market right now. So until something changes, we're gonna assume that all multi-days, all day 2s are ass cheeks. So moving on to SPPL. So this one was another money maker today, and the best part about this one was this intraday 200 hold right here. This thing did consolidate a little bit longer than I would like here. You know, for open market, you know, the first 5-10 minutes, I want fast price action. Usually stuff that kind of just slows its roll for this long in the same spot doesn't do a whole lot. But we did get the bounce we wanted, so which is super nice. We push back up to VWAP. We start kind of going flagging upwards. We run into a gap level at 147. The gap is from 147 to 160. Starts to break through, does not, comes down. We start to kind of form this uptrend right here. It's kind of ascending bull flag going on right here, which we've seen more of, by the way. I haven't really put it into my review, but the bull flag, sideways, pushing upwards type price action, we've seen definitely more of it. If we look at GXAI from yesterday, you know, it's like you have this dip down, we push up through VWAP, we just start going, you know, bull flagging kind of upwards. We're kind of in this zone, but we're pushing upwards. So same type of vibes for that. This would have been a good ad right here. I hesitated personally on this one. Super fucking pissed I missed this trade. I was even looking at it, but this dip was super nice. 135 to 140 zone. If you already have this kind of trend line put in, this would have been a good trend line. We have 135 as a support. Once it comes back through 140, we have buyers. It pushes through to 160, goes to 180. 186 is a daily, 30-day daily pivot that I thought we could get to as well. This thing also produced kind of like a double bottom flag here. Boom. Boom, over this gap level, over the previous high, which is always easy money right there. It did double top though, RIP. I really did think this thing would get to like 190s, maybe 2 if we're lucky, but we did not get there, and then she just faded off into outer space. Overall, SPPL, as far as clean setups, definitely A+. A lot of clean setups here. We have the dip to the 200, intra 200. We have this run up. We have this kind of bull flag setup. And then we have a dip to the previous high over a key level. A lot of confluence, a lot of easy kind of money type trades on this one. So nice to see. It wasn't like the best play ever, but this is solid moves right here. All right, moving on. STI. Sty. So I caught my first fucking volcano move. I usually never trade this shit. Comes all the way down, pushes the view up, and presumably is dead. If you call it here, if you told me, does this play work? And you show me this amount of the open market, I would say this thing dribbles off to basically fucking death. But we started to come back. Look at this little flag right here. Bam. And then we have another dip to the intra 200 here. And then we just rip straight up. And I caught a part of this, which was fucking awesome. Because yesterday, if you watched my review yesterday, the amount of times we've seen this pattern is insanity. It's fucking out of this world. But a nice push here. And outside of it going straight up, straight down, it didn't do anything else. We have a failed rotation, a breakthrough view up, and a come down. So another thing I wanted to note too is just like in what was the name? Cero, it tries to rotate back through view up and then fails. We're seeing a lot of this mini break and then just death. So watch out for this. Don't get trapped in that shit. But this was super nice, although it's very, I'd say, wiki spready, so it can be tough to play sometimes. TCBP, look at this little volcano. Look at this little baby bitch. Boom. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles. That's all it took. Just, it's fucking funny as shit. Yep, that's that. I'm not really gonna talk about anything else here. And then UAVs was a multi-day, ran yesterday. Day 2, did it move? No, just death. Anyways, that was a solid fucking week. Let's pray to the stock gods that this week continues over into next week and then into Gobble Day. I hope everyone has a fucking solid weekend, and let's fucking party. Peace.